We're so excited we can hardly believe we're pulling into the Founders Memorial. This is what was in Kirk Cameron's movie Monumental. Al and I are completely awestruck. This Founders Memorial faces northeast to Plymouth Harbor and roughly toward Plymouth, England. This is an amazing time for Al and me to see the memorial that was erected in 1889 to the Founding Fathers. And if you want to know how any society should be run, this is your roadmap to how it should be done. And on the little pictures that you'll see that I've taken pictures of inscribed, there's pilgrims, Indians. It's a beautiful monument. The four buttresses surrounding Faith are seated figures that represent the principles upon which the Pilgrims founded their new commonwealth. And the minor reliefs are on each side of the seated figures. Morality has prophet and evangelist, and law has justice and mercy. Education has youth and wisdom. And under law is peace and tyranny overthrown. In the front of each buttress is a larger carving out of marble that depicts the Pilgrims arriving to the land, the hardships they had to survive, the signing of the Mayflower Compact, and even the Indians coming before the Pilgrims. Kirk Cameron's movie is an absolute must for the details. This is an exact replica of the Mayflower that the Pilgrims came over on. There were 33 bold men that rowed this over from Plymouth, England to Plymouth, Massachusetts. I know this is kind of a touristy spot, but if you look at these little cabins, these are what the early pioneers built to give themselves shelter after they got off of the Mayflower. And here is what's left of that amazing piece of history, Plymouth Rock. After years of weathering, it's still there. Then we found the cutest little restaurant and the cutest little waitress, and we enjoyed a nice lunch. Enjoyed walking around Plymouth, and then we even enjoyed an ice cream cone. My bucket list is definitely dwindling. Going to the Newport Mansions is something I have dreamed about for too many years to count. Newport, Rhode Island, we start out at the Breakers. This was built by Cornelius Vanderbilt II, grandson of Commodore Cornelius Vanderbilt. If the Gilded Age were to be summed up in one word, it would be this house. Stunning, beautiful. And then we go to the Children's Playhouse that you will notice has its own landscaping as well. And a 1-acre house built on a 13-acre estate on Okra Point certainly made this more of an urban palace than a seaside villa. This house was more captivating than we originally thought it would be. The meticulously manicured yards, the view, the house itself, and to think these people only lived here 6 weeks out of the year, strictly to entertain. Another house of intrigue is the Marble House, built by yet another Vanderbilt. No less stunning, it is completely made of marble. Mrs. Vanderbilt also wanted to rival the Medici by having her own tea house. It was originally closer to the ocean, but it was falling in, so she had to move it. And over here is where you will see where it was originally. This way I can say I had tea. Well, I was at the tea house. Needless to say, Al and I are tired and hungry about now, so we are eating on the wharf at the Black Pearl. Afterwards, we found a nice little shopping area that had some of the best cookies. Nice little shopping district here after the Black Pearl. After our lunch and a brief rest, we drove to Chateau Saumur. And as Al said and made me laugh, wow, they have an approach. Yes, it was a beautiful approach and a beautiful home, but it was closed because we had missed that tour. So we hurried to the next tour. What a lovely backyard, too. Ooh, they have a nice parking place. Sorry this is so bumpy, but I'm trying to hurry so that we don't miss the last tour. Oh my, lovely backyard. We saw about 6-foot wide lawnmowers going through picking up all the leaves so that everything was manicured nice. Then we would see these beautiful concrete seating areas placed throughout the property. This is another front entrance to the Elms. I must say the Elms was probably one of our most favorite. It was so elaborate. Don't tell me there is not money in the coal business. When the Berwins would entertain, the back doors would open up to the backyard, red carpets were spread out, and the ladies could stroll around in their ball gowns and high heel shoes without ruining anything or getting anything dirty. The story I received was, this is a circular drive covered by wisteria. It was as everything operated by magic here at the Elms. The deliveries of flowers and coal was brought here, and it was delivered inside and taken in through tunnels into the house so that nobody ever saw the mess. Magic. These windows go down below to the kitchens so that you never know what they're cooking, you don't see them, and they are able to get some fresh air, but it's all kept completely away from sight. And as we say again, the house is run by magic. No one sees anything. The Berwiths put a lot of time and money into the statuary around the top of their house and around the property of the house, so we wanted to make sure that we captured it. They were childless, and of course this home was everything to them besides their home in New York and their yacht that was placed in the harbor.
I learned that this house has three-phase electricity in 1900, way ahead of its time.
Okay, to show you just how many stairs we have been climbing all day, this is an idea. This is only a few out of the hundreds. And then we go on to our car now. Beautiful fountain as we're driving out, and this is the end of the property with a beautiful little sitting and reflection area, as you cannot see the other buildings, but it is just as beautiful as you can imagine. Hope you can hear the sound. By the time we finished touring our last mansion, it was dusk. We're traveling down Bellevue Avenue where all the mansions are located. There are people that actually do live here permanently in homes now, and not just 6 months out of the year. Now going to a fantastic Italian restaurant that was recommended to us, and we can't wait. We are absolutely exhausted. You have to ride a ferry to get to and from Martha's Vineyard. It is an island. This is pretty much Martha's Vineyard. We think it's highly overrated. We did the usual touristy things and ate some expensive food, went back and waited for the bus to take us to the boat so we could head back. And we were going to be leaving for Niagara Falls the next day.